My name is, we'll move this little meeting. Okay, got it. I'm Sharon Harvey. I'm the Senior Area Manager for the U.S. Small Business Administration, or the SBA. We've been in the news lately, so more people know about who the SBA is, just because of the pandemic and the loans and things of that nature. But we're actually here to help you to start to grow and expand your business. So I do have a cell phone right now. I don't even know the password to get in it. So the best thing for you to do right now is to send me an email, and it's simply sharon.harvey@sba.gov. We can communicate. I can assist you. I can send you whatever. But I am in 22 county coverage area. But I will say that if you're not in that coverage area, that's okay. We're going to make sure that you get the help that you need. So I'm going to show you a small, simple video of what the SBA does, how we can help, and hopefully it invigorates you to get excited about what you're doing or what you're trying to do. It takes a second. Shalonda, smile. Come on now. Now it wants me to download it. See, it played wonderfully earlier, but that's okay. You might not get it. You might have to deal with me. Come on, video. And I checked it first, but we're going to do the short version, and it's already playing. Uh-oh.
It's not working.
Okay, darn. It played earlier.
Oh, wait. I think it's too much for your computer to handle right now. We don't hear anything, Sharon.
Oh, you didn't hear anything?
No.
Oh, you just saw me?
We just see you moving, so you must hear it, but we don't hear it. Just
get rid of
it. The sound isn't right. It's not streaming enough.
I gotta get rid of it.
Get rid of it. Exit. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, now I can't get out of it. Fine. Well, anyway, I'm sorry that you didn't get to see the video. But anyway, we want you to get excited about starting your business. We want you to get invigorated, and we want to be the person that helps you to involve this change. And so we can, we want you just to be able to, Sharon, okay, we're going to help you increase your confidence and your business start. So once again, we want to help you to start and to grow. And we want you to be confident in starting this business and understanding what it is to be a business owner, because it's more than just buying something, cooking something, or doing whatever it is. You have to, have the whole financial structure, the whole business structure, just the HR piece, just everything, the advertising, the marketing, but we are here to help you. So just to say that in America, nationally, there are like 31 million small businesses. And in North Carolina, there's over 671,000. And we want to be able to add you to the count or to enhance what you're doing in North Carolina. So I want to say, and starting a business, they come from all types of ideas. Is it, idea, you and a friend, you're having dinner and you're thinking about something, or you just see something and you say, there's got to be a better way. So it can come from an idea. It can come from things that you do on the weekend for hobbies. Or there are some people that just say, I want to start a business. I want to change the things that I'm doing. And there are so many different franchising opportunities. Most people think of franchising as just food, but nowadays you've got franchises that are like the Massage MVs and just different things that you can do to enhance the skills that you have to make your business more successful. So what we want to do is take it from an idea, and then here's a bakery that's now a full-fledged operation. So those are some of the kind of things that we want you to know, that we're here to help you formulate those ideas, get things started, and be able to, do something for yourself, leave a legacy for your family, employ people in the community. And we'll talk about some of those other things as we get toward the end. But I want to say, in starting a business, it's got to be more for this than this just the money. So what is it that is your passion? What is it that drives you? Being your own boss. Do you understand what that is? We're going to cover some of those things, just to kind of let you know that if you don't like your 8 to 5 or 9 to 6 or whatever it is that you're doing, being your own boss may not be the thing for you, because you might, have to work on the weekends and nights, on Sundays when you don't want to. So understanding that yourself and your passion, is it to fill a void in the community? Is it that you can come up with some idea or some sort of operation that will help employ some of the people that are in your community? Is it things that you're great at? I'm great at whatever. Can you turn that into a passion? Can you turn that into a business? Because so many people just in service industries, do you have a great knack for, finding talent in HR, and doing those types of things? Is it that you're trying to come up with a retirement plan? Because so many of us, go to work day to day, we buy the things we want, and then it's like, oops, we're 5-10 years from retirement and we don't know what to do. Once again, is it to create jobs, leave a family legacy? Or were you downsized and now you're going to say, instead of going back into a particular industry, I'm going to make a way for myself and my friends or whoever else? So those are the kind of things that, we want you to think about in starting this business. And then, there are some questions, there are many questions that you can ask yourself as you start this entrepreneurial journey. But some of them, as I say today in this hour, we want to just kind of sprinkle you some nuggets, let you know some of the things that are to be expected, maybe try to help you avoid some of the pitfalls that we know of in particular industries, and to help you to grow. So the first one is, what do I want from the business? So, are you doing it for money? Are you doing it for satisfaction? Do you want to be independent? So, kind of think of what are these things that you want from your business. Then you're like, am I determined enough to realize my long-term goals? Once again,
I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
Are you in public? Because we're hearing a lot of background noise.
You hear a lot of background noise?
Yes, ma'am.
No?
I do.
Like, do you have a TV on in the background or something?
No.
It's just
Now I don't hear it.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just here.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Or do you hear the background?
It's kind of a reverb. I'm not sure what the background noise is.
It's kind of an echo.
Yeah.
No, it sounds like something's on in the background. Like somebody, does someone have their? Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything you can do to correct it. So let's just go on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
And then, understanding your personal discipline. Do you realize that, I am now a business owner, and there may be some things that you're not going to be able to attend or to do because, once again, you have to be disciplined in your business. And then, of course, how will you handle disappointments? If you have a bad day, are you going to say, I didn't sell anything today, I'm done? But being able to understand that disappointments are going to come, and how are we going to handle those? Is that a mentor? Is that where you have a mentor that you can discuss things with? Or how are we going to handle, the disappointments in the small business? And then, do you have a support network? One of the biggest things is I'm going to talk about our resource partners. They can be part of your support network, having a mentor, once again, having a partner or a spouse that's in agreement with what you're trying to do. Because if you're at home and you're not getting the support, it's going to be kind of hard for you to navigate the business world and do the things that make you happy and to help you move forward. Then are you comfortable with uncertainty of being uncomfortable? And sometimes we're good at certain things, but in order to have your business and move forward, It may be just work in a room. Is that something you're comfortable with? You know, trying to garner new customers or trying to, you know, ask someone for money. You know, you just got to be trying to get over that feeling of being uncomfortable in a comfortable situation. And then once again, am I financially prepared? We're going to discuss that a little bit. You know, once again, so many people start a business, they go and they order stuff, or they, you know, get some inventory, or they purchase a building. You know, I've seen it time and time again. People sign a lease and then they come and say, now how do I move forward? What am I going to do? And some of these things we probably should have not done first. So it's about using the resources that you have and figuring out, how am I going to be financially prepared to move forward? A lot of the things that we're going to say, you know, there's really no order as far as, you know, do I write my business plan first? Do I go find resource partners? Do I work on building my credit? A lot of these are simultaneous. And once you figure out what you really want to try to do, we can help you. But I want to say the first thing is your business plan. Having a business plan, it doesn't have to be one of those thick documents. It's more or less, how am I going to start? Where am I going to end? What does my goal look like in 3 years? What does my goal look like in 5 years? Because so many times you'll say, I'll just use, you know, got a lot of ladies, I'm going to buy a boutique, or, you know, run a boutique. Then the next time you come in, they're baking cakes. So where does, you know, so making sure that you stay on track with what you're trying to do. So in your business plan, you're just going to, what are my goals? What am I trying to do? You know, how much money is it going to cost me to do whatever it is that you're trying to do? And remember, it doesn't have to be a huge document. It's just something that's going to help you make sure that you stay on track from your idea to your marketing to your, you know, your HR. You know, what does all those things look like today, a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? And as we look to start the business, first of all, we need to ask ourselves, and these are some of the things that we're going to put in the plan. What do I want to sell? You know, I say, you know, when I was growing up, the pet rock was a great thing. It lasted for a period of time. Hopefully they sold them, they made some money, and they got out of there. But, you know, what is it that you want to sell? Because primarily what you're going to sell, what kind of services you're going to try to provide, they're probably already in the marketplace. So, okay, you've got that. You know what you want to sell. You know what you're good at. But what problem are you going to solve in the marketplace? Because now you're coming into the marketplace where there's other competitions. So what is it that makes you better? Is it that your product is better? It provides quicker service? It's more efficient? It tastes better? The price point is lower, but what is it that, you know, what is it that you solve? And then how are you different from that individual that you're competing against? And, you know, it's not on here, but one of the big things is understanding who your competitors are. You're now in a marketplace. Who's around you? What are they selling? How much are they selling? Who are their customers? When are they open? A great one is, if you say you're going to be open at this time, then be open. You know, don't have people coming by and, oh, they're closed again. They have a sign up, say they'll be back in an hour. But understanding the marketplace, who are your competitors? You know, how many people do they have to pass that are just like you to get to you? So you've got to figure out what my service is that makes me different from the next person. Getting organized. And when I say organized, that's legally, and understanding what the different roles are that go with being a sole proprietor. Understanding that if you're a sole proprietor, your business and your personal, they're all included. Say someone, you know, falls in front of your establishment or gets sick on something that you have. If you're just a sole proprietor and you don't have the insurance and the protection, then now your home, your car, and all the other assets that you have now get tied up into this. So understanding that, you know, I'm a sole proprietor, but I do have the protections to take care of, you know, my personal. And then we have our general and our limited liability. It's at least one partner. But, once again, understanding the liabilities and the business debts. Then the corporation, the B Corp is now one of the newest things, but it's now providing a service in their mission statement. So if it's to help children, or if it's to help those that are disabled, that's part of your mission statement and your give back. And then your limited LLCs, but it's a simple structure. A lot of these have tax consequences. So you need to make sure that you've talked to someone, and you can get the best information and, that you can get, so that you make sure that you're legal and that you're that you're personally covered. Let me admit, there we go. Okay, what happened? Why can't I? Okay. And just so that we have certain registrations, your state, your federal, and your local maybe are not all the same. But one of the biggest things is, I talked to someone the other day, and they're now into some legal issues because they were using the same name and they didn't check it. So you can just simply go to the North Carolina Secretary of State. You can find out what names are already available. You can find out, say you're going to be ABC Services. You may find that ABC Services is available, but the ABC service, has a bad reputation. You might want to look at kind of changing your name, because you can find out, if they have, been sued, if they have been disbarred, or, just certain things. So, but the first thing is just to check and make sure that your name is available, because sometimes we all think, oh, my name is so unique, no one else has it. But, once again, we're all people, we all have conversations. So just make sure that, your trade name is there. You filed with the Secretary of State, register for taxes. Taxes is such a big one, and make sure that you're now using the correct tax for North Carolina. And then to see, wages and unemployment, what do you need to do? And once again, we're probably talking about more, the future, but those are the things that kind of go into your business plan and your financial structure, because once you start doing these things, it's going to have, whether that's the bookkeeper, whether that's yourself, it's going to take out some additional time for you to do these things. And then, of course, when we're doing our federal registration, one of the biggest things is when you go to register at a bank to open a bank account, they're going to ask you for an EIN number. First thing I'm going to say is please, please, please do not pay anyone. I mean, I don't want to put anyone out of business, but please do not pay anyone to help you with your EIN number and some of these simple things, because we have resource partners that can help you. I talked to someone the other day, they paid $2,000 for somebody to kind of do them an outline, to file their EIN number and something else. And I'm like, oh my God, because we could have really helped you do this in about an hour and it would have cost you nothing. But your EIN number is a big one for the bank. As I said, we want to make sure that when you start your business, if your bank makes if your business is a cash transaction, that the cash stays where it is, your cash stays there. We put it in the bank under the business name, and your structure, your personal, because that's when we start to get in trouble. I'll say the big thing is when we were doing all the registrations and things for the COVID, people would send us their bank statements, and they'd have Walmart and gas and food, and oh, here's something that they bought for their business. And it's just hard to justify that these are really business transactions, when, and once again, we as humans, we can tell these are personal transactions. So just keeping everything separate is the best way to structure and run your business, even if you're starting. Just some of the industries that you may not think of that have taxes in North Carolina is, of course, we all have the dreaded sales tax, your employee tax, sales and beverage. We all are hit with that one. If you're going to open a B&B or buy a small restaurant or a small inn, there's, taxes on that. Motor vehicles, you're going to buy and sell cars. Understand there is tax, some taxes on gasoline and special fuels. If you're having a tire shop, or even just, I'm going to open up a fireworks shop stand for, 2 months or so. But there are certain taxes, and I just wanted you to kind of say, oh, okay. So making sure that you are aware of the ones that are in North Carolina in the industry that you're going to be in.
Sharon, you have a few questions. You have a few questions on the business structure part. Do you
Sure.
want to go? You want me to tell you what those are right now?
You can, and I will say, first of all, that that is one of the things that we're not attorneys. So we
Right.
actually, in some of the things for structure, we can kind of help you understand what they are, but in actually choosing one, that is something that you personally have to decide to do. And I'll
Right.
talk about our SCORE mentors, and we do have a few of those that are lawyers and CPAs that can really help you with structure. But go ahead, Laura, and ask whatever.
Yeah. Well, Carrie Grace asked, how do you get insurance as a sole proprietor? Which I don't think we have the answer to that. I think we'd have to refer someone to an insurance.
Wait, well, no, as a sole proprietor, you can, I mean, I don't know what kind of industry they are, but it's basically regular old business, it's biggest business insurance. So say if you're a barber, or you are a hairdresser, or you have a bakery, or you're doing certain things, it's just basic business insurance.
I'm a proofreader.
A proofreader. She's a proofreader.
Okay.
What kind of insurance do you need? Carrie?
She was talking about if someone came to your place of business, which would be the office, and got hurt. She said that she has coverage.
Oh, yeah, you would. So if you are in a brick and mortar business, the business should have regular old, just plain business insurance. So if something should happen, that
it's a networking place where I rent a room, but it's not an official one. It's
well, if I were you, I would just check with, so it's more of an incubator type. I would just check with whoever you're renting from to make sure that they have regular liability insurance, and that
Right.
if anyone is hurt or injured in the building or something.
Because even in my home, I have home insurance, but I don't have business insurance.
Right, and you may not need it. Like I say, I would just ask whoever you're renting from. Sounds like a basic incubation organization. I would just make sure that they have insurance, so that to make sure that if your clients come and anything should happen, that they're covered.
Because I would think if someone got hurt on the property, whoever owns that property or is responsible for that anyway. So I would assume they would have
just ask
that coverage.
to make sure.
Okay. The other question you had from Lisa Fleming was a B Corp with a question mark. Maybe did you touch on business on a B Corp?
I touched, well, the B Corp is now, I'm not going to say it's new, but it's one of the newest organizations that people are doing for non-for-profits. It's a non-for-profit, for-profit, if that makes any sense, but your non-for-profit piece has to go directly toward with your mission statement. And that's why I said, if you are, say you open up as, I'm trying to think of, we're in Asheville, but we have a lot of like thrift stores or consignment type places. You could open up a business and it's for profit, but then your donation part has to match up with your mission. So if you're, so you would give toward the women's shelter or children, and it matches up with what you're doing. So, I mean, that's, you can read up on the B Corp, but basically the B Corp is, or say if you're a veterinarian or you're doing something like that, then now part of your proceeds go to like a humane society or something like that. But it's basically your business and your mission are tied together. So hopefully that answers the question.
And the other question you had from Sharima was, where does the nonprofit incorporation fit in? So is that the B Corp that you were just talking about?
Well, with the SBA, when we talk about a straight not-for-profit, our resource partners and other partners will assist you, and I can help you to a point. But because with the SBA, what we do is to help to promote small businesses and growth. We really don't do a lot with the non-for-profit, because even in funding, you have to be a for-profit entity. So we really, we can help you to a point, but we can't help you all the way through the process.
Okay, and Lisa, you asked another question. Can you unmute yourself and let us know if she had answered the question that you needed, that you asked?
Sure. Thank you. I was asking the B Corp, is it like, you know how with LLCs, when it comes to taxation, it's really still you, even though you have some protections, it's still you if you're a single member
Right.
LLC. So with the B Corp, is that the same?
B Corp is pretty much the same, but like I say, the difference between, basically the B Corp is the middle of a non-for-profit and a for-profit business. So
Oh,
you
that's
have,
cool.
so your B Corp is
Oh, that's cool.
your
Oh, I like
mission,
that.
yeah, your mission and your not-for-profit mission and your profitability are one and the same. So that's why I said your business is, if you are having a consignment or a thrift type store where you're selling and you're making money, yes, you do get to keep part of the profits. But on the other hand, whatever your mission statement is in that B Corp, you have to now give that portion of whatever to that type of industry, if that makes sense. That's why I say, like, if you're a veterinarian of some sort, now you have to give something back to like the Humane Society, or you have to have a spade clinic one day, or you have to do something that's matching up with the business that you're doing.
You don't understand, that has answered so many things for me as to how I would marry, wanting to, of course, make money, but wanting to give back too, but I don't want to be poor. So
right, I understand. So that's the thing that a
Yeah.
lot of people, when I talk to them and they say they want to start a not-for-profit and they haven't started a business, I understand we all want to help others and give back, but it's like, and the thing with a non-for-profit is, yeah, you get your money, you get your grants, but at the end of the year, you should not have any money, and then you start all over again. So that's one of the things that you have the B Corp, where you can actually make money and support your, whatever your cause is at the same time.
thank you. That's it's gonna be B for beautiful for me.
But I
Thank
will
you so
say
much.
that
Thank you.
I have seen lately that there have been quite a few webinars that are strictly on starting a B Corp.
I haven't heard of it before you today.
Okay.
So thank you.
You're more than welcome. So are we back on schedule?
Yeah, I think that's, yeah.
Okay, so just as I say, this is just a sprinkle and a nugget so that you understand some of the things that you need, where you can get help. But one of the big ones is when we're talking to people about starting a business, they're like, and I'll say, well, what's your profit and loss, or about how much money do you need, in a month to cover your bills? And they're like, I don't have a clue. So these are things that we want you to look at that'll kind of help you understand where you are and how you can sort of figure that out. As I said, once again, we all have one-time startup costs, and I'll just sort of use a brick and mortar because it does have more cost than anything. So, you have one-time startup costs. You have to pay that lease payment. Well, I guess I've got another slide with that, but understanding we've got one-time startup costs and recurring monthly costs. So regardless, once you start that business, you're going to have costs every month, whether you sell anything or not. So how do we get profitable? So as I said, your initial startup costs could include your rent or your lease deposit, any build out or improvements that you need to make to it. You're starting a business, so you need a logo, web design. How am I going to brand myself? That's all got a cost to it. Legal and professional fees we've talked about. Not that you need them every month, but starting out, making sure that your structure is great, that you're ready for your taxes and things of that nature. You're starting inventory. A business always pretty much has more inventory at the beginning because they're going to start and they're not really sure what they need. So you can't open up and start with, 5 or 6 of this and 2 or 3 of these. You have to try to be as fully stocked as you can. There's furniture and equipment that you're going to need, whether that's a POS system, a counter, whatever it is, licenses and permits, getting legal with the Secretary of State, making sure that you have everything that you need. Do I need a special software to run what I'm gonna do? So those are your initial costs. Sounds kind of hefty. So, making sure, even if you're writing it down and adding it and subtracting it, then we go to the monthly cost. We all have the dreaded cell phone, internet, or data, what we're gonna do with our business. Just like those, a lot of us are working from home. So you've got, $100 bill that you've got to pay to Spectrum, figure out, okay, I'll put $50 on my personal use and the other 50 on my home use. There are ways that you can still keep track of working from home and using the things that you already have, but so we've already made our initial deposit on the building. Now we've got to do our monthly lease or rent. Then advertising and marketing, our payroll and our salary, supplies, bookkeeping, insurance. So I want you to start, looking at what are some of these monthly costs? What's my average sale gonna be? And then backing it up and saying, wow, I've got to sell 100 of these, or I've got to make 50 widgets a day so that I can make sure that I can cover my costs that I have in starting this business. So as I said, we're going to look at the cost. You're going to start looking at the cost, what things are going to cost you, how much you're going to sell things for. Now we're going to have to look at understanding your personal and your business credit, because one of the biggest things that people don't realize is my credit is subpar. Not to say that you can't start a business with, subpar credit, but your business is you. So it's not like you start a business and all of a sudden the business has an 800 credit score. Doesn't work like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to touch on some of the things that you may not understand, how you can help yourself get in a better credit situation. But we're just going to look at that dreaded FICO score. So many of us here, you got to have a 620, you got to have a 700, you got to have an 800. Ooh, a 400 sucks. But sort of understanding what makes that score can help you increase the score, because we look at, how much money you owe versus how much money you make. Do you make, $5,000 a month and going out is $4,900? That doesn't leave you a lot to play with. So how much do you make versus how much do you owe? How much do you owe on personal and business loans? What are some of the other credit factors? Do you pay your bills on time? Do you have bankruptcy? But as I said, looking at that dreaded credit score, 35% of that is your payment history. So do you pay on time is the biggest one. Then we look at the amounts owed on the 30%. Technically on a credit card, just say like if you have $1,000, and we might run around with a 750, on it, that takes your credit score down, because honestly, when they're looking at the banks, they want you to have $1,000 limit, have a $250 on it, and the other $750 is open to buy. So, looking at those credit cards, having the credit and having the ability to charge is great, but they want those debts down. So look at 30% of that FICO score is based on the amounts you owe. Then 15% is on the credit history. How long have they had these credit cards that they've had? Sometimes we run and go, I'm just going to close them all. That hurts your credit history. So looking at saying, I've got this credit card that I got when I was younger, but I'm no longer using it, but you've had it for 10 years. Just don't use it, because now you've got the open to buy, or you can show that I've been getting credit for 10, 20, 30 years, but you don't always close them all. You can close a few if you got a lot of them, but just don't go out closing them all, because we want to show that lengthy credit history. Then the other 10% is new credit. They went out and they got new credit. Is it that they got a new credit card or new something because everything else is maxed out? Because now we're going back to that 30% of what's already open. So is it that they got 10% more because they needed some available cash? So looking at that, and then the other 10% is what are your types? So are you mixing your credit? Is it that you have a bank loan, auto loan? Is it some other sort, what's making up the credit? So is it different types? So looking at that credit score, we can look at 5 different pieces on what makes up that FICO score. And one of the other things that I do like to say, once again, a lot of us are ladies, but you go to, TJ Maxx or you go somewhere and they say, open up a credit card, we'll give you 10% off. Sometimes if you're buying, quite a bit, that sounds great. But then once again, we got to look at why we're opening it and do we need that 10% to affect our credit score. So hopefully understanding the FICO score a little bit kind of helps you figure out where you are versus, just trying to get to a certain number, because getting to that certain number does have consequences, and it's easy. I mean, figuring out where it is that you need to focus on also helps with that credit score. And of course, we are using, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian are the three that we use. At this point in time, I would say if you haven't checked your credit, go to annualcreditreport.com. I would say go yearly and just make sure that no one has assumed your identity, or to make sure that something is paid off and it shows that you've got a balance or something. I personally have had that happen to me. So just go to annualcreditreport.com and just check it and make sure that everything on there is you. Some of us have, sort of common names sometimes. That lower forward, you probably can find several. And sometimes it's the only thing that separates them is that middle name. So making sure that whatever's on your credit report is for you. Then there's
After 20 years, my ex-husband's information is still on my credit report, and I've written to all three of them, and I've sent a copy of the divorce decree, and his information still shows up every year after 20 years.
I hate to say it, but being persistent and just calling, and then sometimes you got to get on the phone. Look, we can be aggressive without being rude. And I mean, I would just get it off.
They have a phone number?
Huh?
I didn't know they had a phone number.
Yeah, you can call. Yeah, you can call the credit bureaus. You can get
Yeah.
person. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. Yeah, because there's no, after 20 years, he should be gone. Not that saying anything about him, but his information should not be connected to your credit. So then just in determining your credit worthiness, just want to make sure that you're, there's 5 C's to credit. We've got our character, which is basically, are you paying your bills on time? Looking at cash flow, what is your ability to repay? Sometimes so many people get mad. It's like, well, I only want $10,000, but if you don't have the ability to repay, then you don't have the cash flow. So looking at that, but we can help you fix. How do you fix your cash flow? What are some of the things that you have for collateral? A lot of us, of course, we got a house and we got a car, but what are some of the other things that we make and put up to secure a loan? What are some of the capitalizations? I've already put X amount of dollars in that. Show that, because that now shows your determination to make sure that you concede. And then some of the conditions. Do you understand the business? Has the business gotten to a point where it's plateauing, or are you getting into the business now where it's just hot and it's going up and down? These are things that you have to know when you're going to talk to somebody about, money or starting your business and growing it. So those are the 5 C's. And looking at that, we want to make sure that your business plan, you have your expense sheets. We can help you with those, your financial statements, your financial projections. These are all things that we're going to help you to do to make you successful in business. We don't want you just to open up and say, well, I'm here. Why aren't the people here? So we're going to have to show you how to do that business plan, figure out how many of these customers you need, and then also help you with marketing, which is also in your business plan. So these are all the things that we can help you with to make you successful, and we're going to make sure that you are successful. So how do you get the money? Because at the end of the day, we all want and need money to start our business. Sometimes we can, I'll jump to that 4th bullet, our credit card. Sometimes we max those out and then it's like, oh, now I got to pay that. And a lot of them have a 14 to 25% interest rate. So now you've killed yourself. So how can we do that? Sometimes it's just saving money. Sometimes it's simply, I want to do this, but I just don't have enough money. But if I come up with a plan to save X amount of dollars for a month, and I started in 6 months or a year, maybe you're in a better position. You can get money from investors, but like I say, depending on what it is, sometimes they want a hefty price. You know, we've all probably watched Shark Tank, and sometimes, you know, they give away 5% of their business and X amount of, but then when they start doing 20 and 25%, you got to look at, am I now giving my business away? So understanding what those investors are wanting from your business. And then of course, family and friends. Sometimes family and friends are great, but I will say a word to the wise is put that on paper, because you don't, you know, I've seen a lot of, you know, friends and family feel like, well, I gave you money to start your business. So, you know, I can walk in here, and if it's a restaurant, you know, you're supposed to take this you know, I brought 8 people in here, we're eating and drinking, and now here's the bill, and, you know, I don't owe anything. Making sure that they understand you gave me money to start my business, and maybe I'll give you, you know, some percentages or something, but make sure that they understand what the ground rules are in receiving money from them and paying them back, and what that looks like. And then once again, I said, you know, if you have to use your credit card, use it wisely, because at the end of the day, it could really hurt you with that annual that APR. And then of course we've got the SBA, and we've got our microloan plan. We've got Mountain BizWorks. You can go talk to them. They can help you structurally with, you know, a small amount of money up to $250,000, depending on what it is. We've got state and local funding partners. And then, like I say, the SBA. And then I mentioned about starting a franchise. It can help you start or grow if you're not really, sure what you want to do, but you want to start a business. So, you know, looking at franchises may be something for you. They're not all food as we all think. There's just a lot of room in a franchise for you to grow. And then one of the other things is, as we talked about, your marketing, your advertising, how do you grow? What are some of your regulatory oversights? Those are some of the things that they help you with. So, just looking at both sides, and I just wanted to present, do you start your own, or do you take your own idea and kind of put it in something that's already been tried and true? And if you need help with that, we can make sure that you can discuss those kind of things. As I said, with the SBA, we want to help you to start and grow, whether that's startup cash or whether you're needing day-to-day capital expenses. The biggest thing is, how do you structure that financial statement so that we can present it to the bank for the funding. We'll help you purchase or renovate. As I said, you've renting this building, now you need to do the build out. We can help you with that. If you're trying to buy a building or buy some land to build or to do something on, that's another service we can help you with. And then I like to tell people, if you make something that goes into something that's now shipped overseas, you are into exporting. So we can help you with figure out, how do you do that with other small businesses if you are making something that goes into something that goes overseas? The SBA, we have our microloan program, and with the microloan program, it's, we've got competitive terms, not that there is the cheapest money in town, but the average is between 8 and 11%, which is actually better than, like I said, using your credit card. So what does that look like? We provide the counseling and the education. And this is one that I like to say, that our microloan lenders loan to people that are felons, that are no longer on parole or probation, are eligible for a microloan, because I know it's sort of hard. You've got skills, you come out, and the first thing someone says, oh, you've been incarcerated. So we want to help you take those skills and turn them into a business. And like I say, it's easy. You describe your needs. What do you need it for? A lender will contact you in 2 days, and that could be a lender from anywhere. And you can simply register at sba.gov/lender match. And any lender that's in the SBA portfolio can assist you if that's something that they feel that that their bank or their structure is in need of. Then I want to say, beware, because if you look hard enough, somebody's going to loan you some money. So just make sure that you read everything. I know sometimes that fine print is fine, and it's fine for a reason, but make sure that you understand the terms, understand that, they're not pulling money out of my bank account. This is not a low interest loan, and then in 6 months is going to balloon to 3 times. So understanding, what these bank practices are, because like I say, if you look long enough, you'll find some money. So just be aware and don't sign anything until you truly understand what your commitment is. In wrapping up, I just want to say we all have strengths and weaknesses. In starting a business, you need to, have a clear plan. And in that plan, like I said, using your business plan can help you with that structure. Having people around you that are knowledgeable, whether that's your friends, your family, your accountants, or other business people that you know. A lot of times when you're networking, you find people that they're CPAs, they're attorneys, and you're this, and you guys can kind of, there's nothing wrong with the barter system, or there's nothing wrong with figuring out a network of how we can help one another. And including a bank officer before you need money. So go and establish, as I said, once you figure out what you want to do, get your EIN number, get your bank account, start talking to the bank. What do things look like? What does the industry look like? What's going on in my county? And have your lender be your friend before you actually use them. And I always like to say, have your bail ready. It's not that you're going to jail, but you need to have your banker, an accountant, an insurance person, and a lawyer. Not that you need them, paying them month for month, but you just need to know, if I need some assistance, if I have any questions, who do I go to? Not trying to figure out something has happened and I need some insurance now. No, you already need to figure out who you need to call, or you already need to have it. Who's my lawyer? Who do I call? Because some of these people on retainer, you pay them when you need them. But understanding that you always have your bail and you always have who you need. And you've heard me talk about our resource partners. So not only am I here to help you in the 22 county area, the SBA, as I said, with you being tax-paying citizens, we have resource partners that are here to help you. We all have different strengths and weaknesses. We help you, whether it's to start, we help you whether it's growing, whether it's in a network setting. We're here to help you. And primarily, most of the things that we do are free. There may be times when you have to maybe pay for software or a book or something like that. But typically everything that we do is free to help you, the business owner, whether you're starting. We have 2 SCORE chapters. We have one in Hendersonville. They operate out of the chapter, the Northwestern chapter. And then we have our Asheville chapter that's located in the AB Tech business incubator in Candler, which is also where I am located, in Lower Ford at the Western Women's Business Center. So I think some of you are writing this down. I'll send Laura the slides and we will send them to you, so you'll have all the information that you need. But these are men and women that can help you, whether it's starting your business or they've been in the industry that you're in or looking at, so they can give you some true life experiences. And they also have webinars and workshops. We have our Small Business Technology and Development Center.
Would you go back one slide? I wasn't done writing, please.
That's what I
Thank
said. We're
you.
gonna send you we'll send you the slides so you can
Yeah.
have them with all the information on them. Because Laura's gonna beat me because I'm talking fast now. But our SBTDC, they're actually having a workshop that starts here this week.
Taking the leap starts February 1st.
Yeah, so if you want to be in a situation where you're with other like-minded small business owners that are starting, they've got like 6 classes that help you formulate your business, your idea, and you're sort of more in a think tank. So that may be something that can help you. But they also provide training and consulting. As long if we have any veterans that are on, whether you're a veteran or a spouse of a veteran, our VBOC, they're in Fayetteville, but once again with technology, they do training and workshops. I think they have one in Asheville coming up soon. Of course it's virtual, but they can talk to you if you are a veteran or military spouse. They have additional things that may be of interest to those that are veterans. And then of course we have our great and wonderful Western Women's Business Center that provides coaching and webinars. I've got my great friend and co-worker, Laura Ford, to tell you about the things that the Western Women's Business Center does and how they can help you start and to grow your small business.
Thanks, Sharon. Let me just say that you did have a couple questions, and if anybody cannot stay on the call past 1 o'clock. Just know that we will get a list of who attended this webinar and we'll be sending out the slideshow, but we might be going a little few minutes over the 1 o'clock. So if that's okay with you, Sharon, it's okay with me. You had a couple questions. People are asking a lot of questions about that business structure. And I know from the class I just went to, checking with your accountant is probably the best way to find out the best business structure for you, because each individual business is different. So any of those questions regarding your business structure, I would suggest reaching out to an accountant.
And then, like I say, we have with our 2 SCORE chapters, they do have several accountants and attorneys. Once again, they will not say this one, but they will give you more information on the structure. And I'm just glad that everyone is interested in the structure and just not opening their business and wanting to understand the legalities of taxes and things like that, of that nature.
Yes. And then somebody asked about a DUNS number, a Dun and Bradstreet number. We are a nonprofit, so when we report the businesses that we help, our city of Asheville requests that those businesses that we are helping have a DUNS number. It's another form of, my understanding, it's another form of credibility for you as far as a business. I don't think it's required, but some businesses like ours, if you're within that city area and we are going to provide you any services, we're going to ask you to get a DUNS number just because the city of Asheville feels it is a reputable source of for your business and showing that you're a reputable company. You don't have any liens or judgments against you. So it's just another form of
well,
but I don't think it's
and
required.
I'll add on to that. Basically, it's as Laura said, she's correct. But what it does is it starts to build business credit with you with the DUNS number. So say right now, you're ordering copy paper. Well, when your copy paper is delivered, you've got to write a check or you've got to give them a credit card or you've got to do something, you've got to pay now. So once you start to establish credit, then that paper will be delivered. You'll get an invoice and now you've got 30 days or 60 days, whatever your term is. So that your DUNS number is basically your business credit that you're starting to build. And of course, when you start to do contracting with state, local, and federal, they're going to ask you for a DUNS number. Not sure of who's on the call or what you need or where you are. If you're ready or you're looking at business opportunities with the government, whether, like I say, it's city, state, or federal, you can go on to sam.gov. You can so now you're registered to do opportunities with the federal government, and it opens up like a networking, so you can find someone that's like you or someone that you need to enhance. But you can go to sam.gov and you can register. It's going to ask you when you get to the DUNS number, it's going to ask you to pay because DUNS does have a lot of services. You know, we're not paying for nothing. Once again, you hit enter, enter, enter. I think it's 3 or 4 times. Then you can go and you can register and you can get your free DUNS number. So, you know, make sure that you take a screenshot of that page or print that page, but then now you are registered for free for a DUNS number. As I said, before you pay for anything, please call me, call any of my resource partners, call Laura, and we'll advise you as to, well, some things you do have to pay, but most of them, you know, there is a workaround.
Most of them are free. Yeah.
Yeah. So especially when doing business. So that's one of the things on the DUNS number.
Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? Besides an EIN, a resale number, and registering your trade name, what other common licenses or permits might you need that apply to most businesses?
Pretty much you've got them all, except maybe some kind of like I say, some kind of insurance. Once again, just making sure that, you know, with everything, they start high, but bring them down to, I mean, just like if you were negotiating for yourself, you know, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. And just kind of, you know, but you want to make sure that whatever you're doing, whether you're selling, building, or whatever, that you're covered and that you don't become part of, you know, a lawsuit and you lose everything. So just make sure that you're covered. But other than that, and a plan, make sure that you've got I don't think you said the business plan, but make sure that you've got some, and it doesn't, like I say, it doesn't have to be full blown, but make sure you have, you know, where my business is, who my competitors are, what kind of advertising I'm doing, who's my target audience, because when you say everybody is, I'm going to stop you because everybody isn't. And we're going to figure out how we structure who is who, what is what, and how do you find them. So having a plan is one of the other things that I would say to add to that list.
Yes. And so some of the questions all really kind of start to do with what services are offered by some of these resource partners that Sharon's talking about, like getting a business loan compared to getting a personal loan. There's a process to getting a business loan from the SBA or any of the other lenders. We offer a workshop. It's coming up soon. In February, I believe, on preparing for a small business loan. There's quite a bit of documentation that you have to prepare in order to get a loan. So that I think a lot of you would benefit from some of the classes that we offered. Somebody's asking about QuickBooks. Sharima Williams is asking about the QuickBooks. We offer a QuickBooks class. It's a 2-day class. So I think that a lot of you would benefit from some of the educational development webinars that are being offered at no cost to you through AB Tech. You can go to our website, so I want to make it clear that we offer, and if Sharon, if you want to proceed with my slide presentation.
Okay, and I will say for whoever's asking about QuickBooks, if you're not there yet, or anyone that's on the webinar, I suggest that if you go to the score.org, if you go to the Score, their website, if you go to their resources, they have a profit and loss Excel spreadsheet that is phenomenal. So basically you go on there, it's already formulated. It's got tabs, it's got, you can replace your name and your business. And so if you're not to that point yet, they can help you, that will help you with structure and keeping track of your expenses and your debits and your assets, because it's all tabulated if you're not quite to the, what's the name of the workshop? What is it?
QuickBooks.
QuickBooks. So if you're not ready for QuickBooks, that Score Excel spreadsheet can be a great starter point for you in your big bookkeeping workshop. So I'll move along, and there's Laura Ford.
Okay. And we've already said all this to you. We're a program of Carolina Small Business, which is also a community development financial institution. So they are a lender across the state of North Carolina. We serve actually 22 counties, not 24 counties of Western North Carolina. So again, you should refer to our map that we have on our website, and that will tell you what counties we're in. I'm always available. If you have any questions, you can always email me, even if you're not in any of our counties, and I could perhaps send you to one of the other women's business centers. There are, I think, about 5 women's centers across the state of North Carolina. So I can always give you a referral to one of those other women's business centers if you're out of our area. This is just some of our impacts. So we've helped quite a number of people since our inception in 2014. So it just shows that this program works to help small businesses get started. Go ahead. Some of the services that we offer is a one-on-one business coaching and counseling. So if some of this did not make sense and you're in our service areas, we can help you with that business plan. We can help you with getting ready for a business loan. We can help you with your accounting, your marketing. So those are some of the things we offer, a one-on-one coaching. We always encourage people to take those business development workshops first. And then what doesn't make sense once you've taken those, then you come to us and get your coaching. Then we do have access to capital and help to get you prepared for that access. And then that's it. I think that we're pretty much done. We can open it up if anybody had any other questions. My slide here at the end. Whoops, go back one, go back a couple. Whoop, 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 whoop. There we go. Whoop, there we go. There's my email address, and there is our website for anybody that wants to reach out. If you do, if you have any questions from today's class, I'll be happy to answer them or direct you to Sharon or direct you to the person at Score that might be able to help you. Just know that there is a lot of resources available. in our area and surrounding areas that help small businesses get started. So you don't have to do this on your own. Do we want to open it up in case someone has a couple questions? Know that I will send this recording out, so everybody will get that recording. Does
Yep.
anyone have any questions before we close?
Well, I will say that, I apologize for going over, but there is a lot of information in starting a business. And like I say, I want to make sure that everyone starts the right way, start so that, they don't have any fear, or that they understand what they're doing, because so many small businesses that I've talked to in the last 2 years, during the pandemic, they weren't sure of certain things that they should know as in a business. And I will say that even though you may hire people, when you get to that point, you may hire that CPA, or you still need to understand how much money you made this year, how much money is going to this person and that person, and understanding who they are, because I hate to say it, everybody out there is trying to make money off of other people. So make sure that you understand where your money's going, where your profit's going, just to make sure that you know what's going on in your business. So, we do these classes all the time. They vary, as you can find them. Not sure how you got here today, but we appreciate you giving us your time. We've got Laura Ford from the Western Women's Business Center is here to help you. We've got Dwayne, he disappeared from us, but AB Tech, they have the small business incubator. So they're there to help and assist. We've got a network. So we don't want you to go on this alone. Understanding that everything we do is private and confidential. So it's not like I'm going to get on the phone or send an email and say, hey, I talked to so-and-so yesterday and they're doing, no, everything you do with us is private and confidential. The best way to get me is simply sharon.harvey@sba.gov. So if after today or tomorrow or 6 months from now, you decide this is the route you want to go, you've got questions, we're still here to help. So as Laura said, if there are any questions right now, feel free to unmute yourself.
I just want to
and
say
ask.
thank you. I just want to say thank you to you both.
Yeah, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. I just also, Sheila Hill, I just put an email address in there for Ashley McFarland for taking the leap. Reach out to her. And
Can you guys
again,
reach out
go
to
ahead.
me as well?
Okay. Sorry.
Am I going to, so with the registration information I provided, my email address, that's going to be sufficient for you guys to get me everything. I have to make sure now. After talking to you too, I mean, because
everybody's going to, everyone is going to get a, I'm going to send the recording to everybody along with Sharon. You're going to give us your PowerPoint presentation.
I'll send it to you as soon as we get off of here.
I will be sending that out to everybody, and it'll also have my email address. It'll be an email from me with all of the information. The recording might not come today. It might be in the next couple days, but you can all expect to get that.
How's the road ending?
Okay, because I'm literally gonna live off of it. So thank you.
There you go. And I have a lot of other resources also.
We got plenty of resources to help you. So that's what we're trying to make sure that people understand. You don't have to go this journey alone. And we're here to help. And and sometimes if the business has an oopsie, we're going to be here through the oopsie to help you and to support you and to figure out what happened, because that's what we're supposed to do. So, it's not going to be flawless, but we're going to try to help it, the speed bump not be so great. So that's what we're here to help you do and to guide you and, to start this business because if you look at all businesses, they all started out just like you, or maybe one other person sitting across the table from them, and look at, where some of these businesses have grown to. So not that, so every business has its growth, its weaknesses, but what you want to do, we're going to help you be successful in it. We're going to help you start it and grow it in the right way. So that's what our goal is today. And there we have so many other more resource partners or trainings that we can go through with you. And as I said, there's not a problem with us doing a one-on-one with you to make sure that everything you're doing is on track.
Yeah, I'll definitely be in touch for that. Thank you
Okay.
again.
Great,
I'm gonna
great.
drop off now. Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you. And like I
bye.
say, I appreciate everyone for sharing their afternoon with us, and we're just here to help. And as I say, I'm just real animated, and I wish I could be in front of all of you. So enjoy your day. If there's no more questions, Laura, I'll turn it over to you.
That's it. I think that's it for everybody. Remember, this is a process. You can't do it all in one day. It's going to maybe take a little bit of time to get your business started, but we're here to help. So I will be reaching out to all of you. Have a great day. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, love. Bye-bye.
Bye.